What about this idea that he might take up the offer of a palace over in the UAE, 16,000 square foot? The Emirates billionaire ruler of Abu Dhabi has said, look, he can come and live his life out here instead. I mean, talk about landing on your feet.
In the shimmering desert heat of Abu Dhabi, far from the cold corridors of Windsor, Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor is quietly preparing for a new life. Once a son of privilege, now a man in exile. He has been stripped of every royal title, every honour, and finally, his home. The Royal Lodge, his long-time sanctuary of comfort and denial, is gone. In its place, an opulent refuge waits across the sea, a palace fit for a sultan, hidden behind towering hedges and guarded gates, where the disgraced former duke can disappear from the eyes of Britain. The fall has been extraordinary. Once a naval officer celebrated for bravery in the Falklands, Andrew's name became a symbol of entitlement, scandal, and shame.
From the news media, including the headline this morning from the Sun newspaper, the headline reading, "Banned Old Duke of York."
After years of protecting him from consequences, even his own brother, King Charles, finally drew a line. In a swift and decisive move, the king removed his titles, his military honours, and his right to use his Royal Highness. It was the final act in a long, painful unravelling, the official end of Andrew's royal life. Now, as he prepares to leave the United Kingdom, royal watchers are calling it his internal exile. He has agreed to spend the winter in a small property on the Sandringham estate, but few believe he'll stay there long. According to insiders, his sights are already set on something far grander, a 16,000 square foot palace in Abu Dhabi, personally offered by one of the world's most powerful men, Sheikh Mohamed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, often referred to as MBZ. The friendship between Andrew and MBZ stretches back more than 2 decades, to the days when Andrew was a trade envoy representing Britain overseas. In those years, he frequently visited the Emirati, cultivating connections with the wealthy elite and accepting their lavish hospitality. It was a relationship that paid dividends then, and may now provide his escape route from public humiliation.
My question would be this. Would that not expose the country and the royal family to potential bribery and coercion? You're sending good old Handy Andy over to hang out with influencers and oligarchs on the yachts of Abu Dhabi. What could go wrong?
MBZ has reportedly invited Andrew to live within his heavily fortified Sea Palace compound, a place where discretion and luxury exist in equal measure. The palace itself is extraordinary. Valued at around £10 million, it sits beside the turquoise waters of the Arabian Gulf, within a secure estate that also houses the headquarters of the Emirati Navy. Behind 30-foot walls and a maze of checkpoints, the compound is home to the ruling family and a handful of elite government officials. Only those with government-issued passes are allowed inside. Guards operate barriers at every entrance, while cameras record every approaching vehicle. The area is, as one insider put it, effectively invisible to the outside world. For a man desperate to vanish from public life, it's the perfect setting. Inside, the villa resembles something from a royal fantasy. 6 vast bedrooms, each ensuite and air-conditioned, are lined with marble. The home cinema, indoor pool and private gym are said to rival those of a 5-star resort. The kitchen is staffed by cordon bleu chefs and fitted with gold fixtures, from the taps to the light switches. Everything gleams, designed not just for comfort, but for quiet grandeur. One designer who worked on the property described the style as classical yet playful, with bold colours and a modern twist on palace opulence. Andrew's connection to Abu Dhabi runs deeper than mere convenience. The Emirates' strict control over its media means criticism of powerful figures is almost unheard of, a fact that royal biographer Andrew Lowney says makes it particularly appealing to him. In the UK, Andrew is hounded by photographers and ridiculed in headlines. In Abu Dhabi, he would enjoy what he craves most: privacy, respect, and silence. He would be happy living somewhere where the media is muzzled, Lowney has said. He'll still be treated as a senior royal, and he can easily live under the radar. It isn't hard to see why Andrew is tempted. His reputation in Britain is shattered beyond repair. Every attempt at redemption has failed. His television interview, once meant to clear his name, only cemented his image as arrogant and out of touch. His years hiding behind palace walls turned him into a symbol of privilege gone wrong. A man clinging to luxury while ordinary Britons footed the bill for his security. Even now, his quiet move from Royal Lodge to Sandringham has been viewed not as humility, but as defeat. And yet, for all the scandal, Andrew has managed to keep one thing intact: his connections. MBZ's offer of a palace is not a small gesture. It's a lifeline from one powerful man to another fallen one. Sources suggest the refurbishment of the villa began soon after Queen Elizabeth's death, a subtle act of loyalty that hints at long-standing ties. In fact, Andrew and MBZ reportedly first met decades ago, during their time at Gordonston School in Scotland. What began as a schoolboy acquaintance evolved into a diplomatic friendship, one that may now provide Andrew with his only refuge. This is not the first time the former Duke has been linked to the opulent world of Abu Dhabi's elite. Over the years, he's been spotted at exclusive events there, often accompanied by his daughters Beatrice and Eugenie. Both women have spent time in the region, attending business conferences and social gatherings. Just days after their father's titles were stripped, they were photographed in Saudi Arabia, and soon after, at an event in Abu Dhabi. Insiders suggest the sisters are testing the waters, perhaps even laying the groundwork for their father's transition to a new home abroad. It's a move that, in some ways, mirrors that of Spain's former king Juan Carlos, who fled to Abu Dhabi in 2020 amid his own financial scandal. Andrew, too, may find solace among those who have traded power for privacy. For the UAE's ruling elite, housing a fallen royal could even be seen as a gesture of prestige. It signals influence, connections, and a willingness to offer sanctuary to the exiled and disgraced. For Andrew, this gilded isolation may be exactly what he wants. No press intrusion, no cold British winter, no photographers waiting outside his gates, just the hum of air conditioning, the glitter of marble floors, and a world where no one dares to ask questions. Here his past can fade into silence, but for the monarchy he leaves behind, the damage lingers. His exile might bring him peace, but it cannot restore dignity to a family still haunted by his choices. And while Andrew retreats into luxury, Sarah Ferguson faces her own uncertain future. With her ex-husband gone, and her once steady stream of media deals drying up, she is reportedly weighing her next move. Those close to her say she is restless, unsettled, and considering leaving the UK altogether. For years, she shared Royal Lodge with Andrew, despite their long-ago divorce, clinging to a life of faded privilege. But that arrangement is over now. The invitations have stopped coming, the social circles have turned cold, and her reputation has been dragged into Andrew's shadow once again. A friend told the press, aside from her children and grandchildren, there's not a lot to keep her here. And it's true. With her daughters spending more time abroad, and the monarchy moving on without her, Sarah may find herself following the same path, quietly slipping away from Britain's glare, to start anew elsewhere. The former Duchess once said she believed in second chances. Perhaps she's about to take hers somewhere far from Windsor, where the echoes of scandal can finally fade. As for Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, his story has entered its final act. Not as a prince, not as a public servant, but as a man living behind gilded gates in a foreign land. His new life may be drenched in gold, but it's a lonely kind of freedom, bought at the cost of his name, his legacy, and his crown's respect. Britain will move on without him, but in the deserts of Abu Dhabi, surrounded by marble and silence, the fallen son of the late Queen will have all the privacy he ever wanted, and none of the honour he once had. But what do you think? Has Andrew found the perfect escape, or is this just another chapter in a lifetime of privilege and denial? Do you believe the monarchy is better off without him, or does his quiet exile raise deeper questions about royal accountability? And what about Sarah Ferguson? Will she follow him abroad, or finally walk her own path? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I read every one of them. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on every twist in the royal saga, make sure you hit subscribe, turn on notifications and join the conversation. There's a lot more to come.